The Florida Gators shocked college football last year by doing the unthinkable, saving Billy Napier's job and continuing a much-needed momentum shifter going into the 2025 season. Can they do more than what is expected? These are my game-by-game predictions for the Florida Gators of the 2025 season. Hello, everyone. I'm Lucas Hill. This is SEC Live here at the Voice of College Football. Everybody do us a favor. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification down below so that you are notified every time we go live here on SEC Live. Make sure you check out our friends over at Amazon. Click the link in the Amazon link. It'll get you automatically signed in. No purchases necessary to help support the Voice of College Football. And for more information, here's Mark.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
I think one of the biggest things that Florida is going to have to focus on this year is keeping your playmakers healthy. Obviously, we've heard the news in the offseason. DJ Lagway's banged up. Dallas Wilson's hurt. A couple defensive stars are hurt. But overall, if you can get a healthy Florida roster, there is a huge, huge ceiling for Florida going into 2025. And it starts off, first two games should be a cakewalk. Playing the Long Island Sharks should be a win, pretty easy win there at Ben Hill Griffin. Going to South with South Florida coming in, both of them are going to be on the SEC Network. That, again, is a win with Alex Golesh coming back into SEC country. I think they take advantage of the South Florida program that really has lost a lot. I think it's still a team in rebuild, but only time will tell with what happens with Alex Golesh's crew at South Florida. Now, here's the first test of the year. Stadium going to have to play the number 9 team in the nation, the LSU Tigers. Last year dominated on the other side of the ball. The question is, how can you hang on to the football for the longest time? Guys, you got outgained last year against LSU, 41 minutes to 17 total minutes in time of possession. What are you going to do to change that? What are you going to do to elevate what your offense is doing? Well, number one, it's more spread out. There's more playmakers that are available. Trey Wilson is back healthy this year. Hopefully, Dallas Wilson will get back on the field as soon as possible. DJ Lagway, obviously, with the question marks there. I think if you're a fully healthy Florida team, you can compete with LSU. Not much has changed from the defensive side of the ball except for a couple of transfers that you got that really is going to elevate this LSU secondary, number one. But I think overall, it's another tight game. LSU and Florida, this is always a great rivalry between these two teams. But I think eventually the home team is going to end up getting the victory there, which will give Florida their first loss of the season, which should be close to a top 10 battle. I think will be a top 10 battle by the time we get to September 13th. Then you come back, you go on a little road trip out to Miami Gardens to play the Miami Hurricanes. I have an upset here. I think Florida takes this one. I think they handle business against Miami. Carson Beck just is not the same quarterback that he was 2 years ago. At the second half of the 23 season. Beck has been injured. He hasn't been consistent with this offense. There's not a lot of playmakers, especially from what you lost compared to last year. You lost a lot through the portal. I have an upset there, despite the freaks that Miami has with Francis Magoa, who should be a first-round draft pick this year, and obviously Ruben Bain on the other side of the ball. I think overall Miami is going to fall to Florida. Florida's going to get the biggest win that they've had so far in the Billy Napier era. As they prepare to go back home, they get the bye week. Number one, Texas is going to come to town. Hold your horses. Let's talk about this Texas game real fast. Because I think this is a game that could ultimately decide if Florida does get into the college football playoff. Let's say they win this one, they finish 10-2. Let's say they lose next week to Texas A&M, but it eventually lose to either Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, or maybe Florida State, which I doubt will happen. But let's say one of those two things happen and they end up 10-2 and Texas is going to end up 10-2. They're both going to get in, but who's going to get the higher seed? Even better, what if they're both 9-3 at the end of the year? Who's going to get in? It's hard to say that Florida couldn't get in with the schedule that they have compared to what Texas had. More quality wins as well. So I think overall, this is a very, very important game for Florida. I do think they dropped this, though, going to 3-2, going to Texas A&M. A&M lost a lot on the defensive side of the ball, but they're loaded on offense. I think that this Florida defense is going to take advantage of Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed still has that sticker of he's a running back playing quarterback. Now, I will say this. This is a much healthier running back room that Texas A&M has. Plus, you got a lot of receivers. You have talent on the outside. And it starts with KC Concepcion. How will that matchup be with that Florida secondary? I think that Florida does take advantage of it. They're getting a big win on the road in Kyle Field, and they take care of business against the Aggies. I have them 4-2 up to that point. Mississippi State at home for homecoming. I just don't see a scenario where Mississippi State is able to pull off an upset here. Give me the Gators in this one with them getting ready for another big one. Another off week, and then here comes Georgia in the cocktail party. What happens in this one will dictate whether or not Florida plays for an SEC championship. Florida wins this one, even if you do lose to Texas. Who's to say that you're going to get left out of the SEC title game? And as tight as this race is, every game matters. You pull off an upset here, holy cow, guys, I think that this could be a Florida program that is going to make a lot of noise. I really do. And guess what? I have Florida upsetting Georgia in Everbank Field, a healthy DJ Lagway. This is I know I shouldn't doubt. I should not at all be even close to doubting Kirby Smart and this program. I just do. I'm sorry. You can disagree with me all you want, but I don't see a scenario where this Georgia defense that struggled against Lagway during the first part of the game is going to do the same thing today. I think Florida pulls this upset. They get to 7-2, going to not 7-2. Where are we at? We're at 6-2 right now. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2. We are at 6-2. Let's finish off the rest of the schedule. At Kentucky, I think we'll see what happens with Mark Stoops. Is Kentucky willing to pay that $37.5 million to bail out Mark Stoops? I don't think so. I think they have to wait another year to deal with Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops is going through a rough time right now, but I think Florida takes care of business at Kroger Field. Going to Ole Miss. This is a tough one, man. I mean, Ole Miss is young. It's still Ole Miss, as we know already. I think Ole Miss has a bit of revenge on their minds. I think they shot themselves in the foot last year and gave Florida plenty of momentum. I don't think Ole Miss does that this year. I think they take care of business at home and beat Florida to send them to their third loss of the season, and then finishing off the last two games of the season with Tennessee and Florida State coming to Ben Hill Griffin. Tennessee hasn't beaten Florida and Ben Hill Griffin in over 20 years. It continues this year. I don't think Tennessee has the weapons to effectively dominate against this Florida defense. I just don't see it at all. And then Florida State to end off the year in their rivalry. Yeah, all the talk that we've heard about from Florida State, we don't know with what's going to happen with this Gus Malzahn offense. I just don't have the confidence in the world with what Florida State does. Give me Florida to win this one pretty handily. I would say even worse than what they had last year. So overall, I have Florida going 9-3. And you can disagree with me. You can You can say whatever you say. I have Florida going 9-3. I think they're going to be an outside label for the college football playoff. I do think they can make it. I really do. I really like Florida this year and what they're going to bring to the table. I think that they're going to do some amazing things this year. I think offensively, you're going to see a lot of draft stocks go up. And this is still a young team. Let's get to 26. You keep this same roster, you're going to be competing for a national championship. This offensive line, though, is going to take a hit after this year, but I would take advantage of it whenever you have the time. I think ceiling-wise, you could go 10-2. Florida, you could go 6-6 or 7-5. I do think overall Florida, it's the same, almost the same schedule as last year, but flipped. But this is a much better Florida roster than what we saw. I think the momentum that they have during the second half of the season carries over, and I think Florida ends up shocking the college football world at 9-3. I think they also get that bowl win to get to 10 wins, a much-needed win for Billy Napier for him to stay in Gainesville. I think he might end up winning SEC Coach of the Year if they do win 10 games at the end of the year as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below about where I have Florida. Do I have them too low? Do I have them too high? Let me know all of your thoughts and questions and concerns. Guys, thank you all for watching us. Once again, this has been SEC Live here at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, as always, Lucas Hill. Make sure you do us a favor, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification so that you are notified for every time we post a new video. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay blessed. Don't stress.